Political movements and campaign slogans in this country. I want to talk about that. They have a very long and storied history, ranging from Tippecanoe and Tyler 2 to I Like Ike to even Black Power, Morning Again in America, and of course, Make America Great Again. The Biden presidency, however, has presented us with perhaps the most curious of them all, and it keeps getting a lot of attention. Let's go Brandon has become a popular mantra for frustrated Americans, and right on cue, however, it has been recently branded a right-wing slur by left-leaning NBC News and other media outlets after the nation's 46th president, in what was an astonishing display of lack of self-awareness, was goaded into repeating the slogan on Christmas Eve. NASCAR is also trying to distance itself from the chant. Of course, they didn't have a problem with Black Lives Matter, which represented a Marxist organization that raised money for left-wing political candidates and allegedly spearheaded hundreds of violent protests across America in 2020. Not sure what's going on there with NASCAR. Why all the fuss? Let's start this new year off with some honesty and some clarity. It's not a slur, folks, nor is it offensive, nor is it just about Joe Biden. Let's Go Brandon is a salve for a population that looks increasingly with disdain at Washington's aged, swampy, and out-of-touch leadership. And it's a way of people saying to them, we don't buy what you're selling anymore. At a time when America's caustic politics needs some levity, the saying's a real winner. It says so much without being crude. Frankly, out of respect for the presidency, I'd much rather people chant "Let's go Brandon" than the expletive-laden alternative that was catching on at sporting events. The change made the slogan funny. It made it less edgy and more palatable for broader use. It also made it about so much more. "Let's Go Brandon" is now for the parent whose kids are being taught that white people in America are inherently racist and there are dozens of genders. It's for the invaluable staff member at the local hospital fired because of nonsensical COVID mandates. It's for the hard-working taxpayer who watches government give away trillions in so-called free stuff that disincentivize work and the billions in fraud paid for by the middle class. "Let's Go Brandon" is about the cop who's watched law enforcement be villainized while criminals are set free only to commit more crimes. And it's about the crime victim whose local prosecutor and the city council have allowed lawlessness to run rampant. It's about that driver and the homeowner who are paying more for gas and heating oil. It's a cry from that business owner who has borne the burden of increased government regulations and taxes for decades, only to see their profits dwindle. "Let's Go Brandon" is about that senior on a fixed income watching their dollar shrink because of record inflation. It's the new mantra of the frustrated citizen, powerless to stop millions of illegals from streaming across the border, being put on welfare and resettled across the country. "Let's Go Brandon" is for that bold anti-establishment college student who's tired of cultural Marxist indoctrination, who's ready to work hard and is sick of whiny, entitled classmates. It's a rallying cry for any American of any political stripe who sees an erosion of the values that made this country a beacon for freedom and prosperity. It's about a lot more than Joe Biden. It's a symbol for Americans who are ready to take back their country. The left in this country, they find offense in virtually everything. But "Let's Go Brandon" it's not offensive. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's a wonderful axiom that transcends party politics and gets to the heart of some of the chronic problems facing this country. Problems with government overreach and a small minority of people who are attempting to fundamentally change America. It's not a slur, but a clarion call of real people facing the real challenges of our age. And politicians in both parties should take notice. Perhaps best of all, it was born out of the pure serendipity of American life, improbably created, yet now embraced by millions. And though these slogans tend to have a short shelf life in American politics, in 2022, folks, go ahead. Say it out loud with a smile. "Let's Go Brandon."